Good evening. Welcome to the Let's Talk show, and I'm your host Tulani Moyo. This is the show where we discuss what has been happening in the news and other topics. The show is to exchange ideas and respectfully debate topics on issues affecting Zimbabweans. We are MP live on the 24 Plus XFM channel here at Esigadini Studios. I have a panel here of two analysts, Jenson, Ngoni, and Makira. Welcome, people.
Hello, Tulani.
Hi, Tulani.
So let's get into the discussion and review some of the topics raised in the news. The news headline spoke of Brett Matibi speaking on maize production. We will take in calls or texts on the number shown on the screen, but listeners be warned. We will not accept abusive or vulgar messages or phone calls on this platform. This is a free platform for anyone to participate, to allow for free discussion. Your cooperation on this matter is greatly appreciated. So the first topic of Brett Matibi speaking on the maize production this year. What do you guys think? Adi, do you think Brett is giving us accurate information? What's your take on the whole thing?
Well, I think Brett has made an encouraging announcement about the maize production this year. Though I have my reservations about the Maramani plant research facility. I don't know if they do any genetic modification of seeds there or stuff like that. If they don't do such stuff, then I feel they are doing a good job all round in advancing seed production. I am not the most learned when it comes to such stuff, but I just don't want to be eating GM food. Let nature do its thing and not interfere with how seeds are produced. That's all I can say on this topic, Tulani.
Thank you so much for that. Yes, I kind of feel the same way about the genetic modification of seed to increase production, but other people may disagree with this. So Jenson, what are your thoughts on this matter? Do you think this is a good thing?
First of all, Tulani, I don't really trust Brett and his announcement, as the scandal he was involved in last year was not fully resolved.
But Jenson, that issue happened last year and is irrelevant to what we are talking about now. You and I know that the case was not resolved in the best way, but it is not the issue here. So can we please stick to the topic? Thank you.
My apologies, Tulani, but Brett's affairs last year is a very touchy subject for me. But I will stick to the topic at hand. So I have no issues with the seed research and genetic modification. But I think they need to reduce their yearly budget, because $2.6 billion a year grant for a seed research facility is a bit steep in my view. I don't know if I am wrong on this, but the budget is a bit high. I do support what they are trying to do and the strides that they have made. So it's a good place with a lot of good people doing amazing stuff for the farming community.
That's great to hear, Jenson.
Jenson, Brett was cleared of any wrongdoing 3 months ago, and the Mazoe Times covered a piece on investigative journalist evidence to clear his name. So there is no reason for you to hold a grudge against Brett, if that is how you are feeling.
Ida, I don't hold a grudge, but I'm glad to know this information. I certainly will look into the article, as I must have missed it somehow. Thank you for that info.
Okay, great and good to know that Jenson learned something new today. Right, moving on, we have some texts coming in from our viewers. The first one is from Roderick in Binga, and he says, I don't think Brett was cleared of wrongdoing last year, but I'm happy with what is happening at the research center in seed research. My uncle's farm in West Midlands benefited a lot from the hybrid crop produced by seeds that came from this research facility. Keep up the good work, Tulani. Your show is very informative, and I follow you on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you, Roderick, for your message and kind words. But just remind you listeners, let's just stick to the topic and not dwell on topics that make this discussion go on a tangent. Melody from Bitebridge says, I love your show, Tulani, and thank you for the regular panelists. The discussions are really good. Honestly speaking, I don't like Brett as a person, but the Maramani research facility is doing great. I hear that they have successfully tested a maize seed which produces plants that can go for 2 months without water and still continue in the growth cycle. That's all I have to say, Tulani. Bye. Another message is from, I think we will block that one, as he is being very rude and inappropriate in his language. Some callers are in the queue, so I think we have time to take one call. Hello?
Hello, Tulani. I don't have anything to contribute to your show, but just want to say, keep up the good work. We enjoy your show so much. We are listening into your show here from Matopo Hills. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Much appreciated. Another caller on the line? Hello. Hello. Seems the line went quiet. There are a few callers on the line. Hello? Hello?
Hi guys. I just want to say that the research facility is not what I thought it was, as I used to work there and some people were not the same.
Thank you, caller, whoever you are. Sorry that the call dropped off. Keep trying though. You might have luck next time. your contribution would probably have been interesting. I will read a text from Monica all the way in Ratinga. Her message reads, Hi Tulani, I hope you are well. I used to work at the Maramani research facility, and all I can say is that the team of scientists and technicians there are a great team. Brett was not perfect, but was a man of his word. He was tough, but had a weakness when it came to money. But aside from that, I want to say to all Zimbabweans, thank you for your support. During the time that I worked there, even the locals were very supportive towards us. I give a shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Chella, who stayed a few blocks away from the facility. They are a sweet old retired couple who looked after us on most days, coming at lunchtime to give us delicious bits of cake and gave us lots of encouragement. I will always remember them. That's all I have on this matter of the Maramani research facility. Wow, that's a really warm message from Monica all the way in Ratinga. Thank you for that. It's always nice to know that we still have good people who are very neighborly and just have good intent towards others. I would have loved to have tasted the cakes made by the Chella family, but I suppose maybe another time in another life.
Don't worry, Tulani. I will bring some cupcakes for you tomorrow, that we can have with a cup of tea, before we start tomorrow night's show.
That sounds really good, Ida. I'm already starting to feel a bit hungry.
Please bring plenty of cupcakes, Ida. But thank you, Monica, for the kind message, and it's really good to see people living well together. I'm a strong advocate for people living in peace and harmony.
Oh, another call on the line. Hello? Hello?
Hello, who is this? Who am I talking to?
Hello, caller. You are the one who called into the show. This is the radio talk show on the 24 Plus channel.
Oh, I am so sorry, sir. My phone was in the call queue for a while, and because I am multitasking here at home, I lost track of what I was doing. I am home alone this week as my family have all traveled to Chirundu. It's my cousin's wedding, you see, and I had to stay behind to look after the dogs. I am calling from Gundu. Sorry for the mix-up again. How are you, Tulani? My name is Wedrick Mansa from Gundu.
That's okay, Wedrick, and I'm good. Thanks for asking. So what do you have for us with regards to the Maramani Research Center?
Well, I wanted to say that the research center is doing amazing things when it comes to seed research. I was friends with someone who used to work there, and all they told me is good things about the place. My friend was always happy to go to work, and said that the top man, Brett, was a good lad. My friend always said that Brett was strict but fair and made sure that everyone working there was getting on all right. I think that contrary to what Jenson feels, the Maramani Research Center could do with more funding. My friend always spoke with such enthusiasm about how the research center was not working at full potential due to slightly outdated equipment, even though it's still the leader globally on seed research. So I personally advocate for more funding for the center. That's all I wanted to say with regards to the research center.
Wow, that's a different view to what most people have said so far, Wedrick. Thank you for that insight.
That's really interesting to know, Wedrick. I always had a feeling that the research center is not that bad as some people would want to think.
Yeah, you are right, Ida. It's not always good to conclude on matters without having a full picture of the situation. It is also...
I still stand by my reservations on Brett Matibi. I still need to see more concrete information. And I know Ida said that the Mazo Times cleared his name, but I am still to look at this article.
It is entirely fine, Jenson, that you feel this way. You are within your rights to do so, but I hope you get to look at more evidence on this issue with Brett, as it seems to be growing more in intrigue. We have just received a priority text message from Bantu Matango from Maramani. His message reads, Please call me on this number as I cannot jump the caller queue. I have first-hand information on the Brett Matibi saga, and also information on the Maramani Center. Bantu has given us his number, guys. What do you think, guys? Should I call him? We just might be opening a can of worms here. What do you think, Jenson and Ida?
I think it's good for us to speak to Bantu and hear what he has to say, as this is a free talk show, open to all opinions expressed in a respectable manner.
What about you, Jenson? What do you think?
Well, I don't know what to think of Bantu, but I guess it is only fair for us to hear what this man has to say. The problem now is we might never really know the full truth about what Brett did, and also how he has been running the research center.
Thank you guys for your input. I will call Bantu and hear what he has to say.
Hello, who am I speaking to? This is Bantu on the line.
Hello, Bantu. I hope you are doing all right. This is Tulani from 24 Plus Radio channel on Let's Talk.
Hello, Tulani. I used to work at the research center but eventually resigned after finding another job within Maramani near where I stay. I resigned because of the way management ran the facility at Maramani. I am not saying that the management is full of bad people, but the work ethos there is a bit off. My experience as a worker there showed me that there is more emphasis on excellence to produce results, and less on staff welfare. I at times felt overworked and not very appreciated by my seniors for my efforts. I was the head of the aeronomics division within the seed research. On my time there, we came up with so many innovations, but our seniors and managers wanted even more, thus pushed us harder even though we were already working very hard. Don't get me wrong, the pay was very good, but it came at a price which I could no longer keep paying. So there is a reason why it is the best in the world, and but at the same time being not the best place to work for some people. On the issue of Brett, which seems to be an issue, I think he did misappropriate some funds. This Wedrick dude is Brett's close comrade, and thus he cannot say anything bad about his partner in crime being Brett himself. There were rumors at the time I was there that Wedrick and Brett were into some crooked deals with an external entity who wanted to steal some intellectual property from the research center. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Bantu, for this interesting information. I suppose this kind of information brings another twist to the whole Brett saga. It is interesting information. Thank you.
Thank you, Bantu, for that information. But I think that we are dwelling now too much on the Brett issue. It's good to hear different sides and views on these topics we are discussing, as that's what this whole show is about. I will read a few messages as we move on. Tekla from Masasa Park says, I am in agreement with people who say that the Maramani Center is doing an amazing job for the farming community. I think that people need to appreciate that wherever there are people, you will have problems and issues always. That being said, I am not excusing the misdemeanors that may have taken place there, as I don't have all the facts on what actually happened and what did not. I believe that it is better to dwell on facts like the fact that the research center actually produces results, and choose to ignore the work politics. That's my take on the research center. Thank you, Tekla from Masasa Park. Jobson from Chipinga says, shame on you, Wedrick. We know what you have been up to with Brett. Your dealings almost brought the whole of the Maramani Research Center to disrepute, threatening to tarnish its name and bring to question all the work done over the years that made it a world leader in seed research. I don't trust Brett either and think he is full of... Oh dear, not such good language from Jobson, though you started off your message nicely. I think the rest of the message I will not read, as it is not very pleasant and extremely inappropriate. Jobson, you clearly are not happy with these guys and you seem very angry, but the language in the rest of your message is not good. Just a reminder to listeners, please let's use clean, respectful language as we respect everyone's point of view. Even though we may not be in agreement, let's agree to disagree. Mandla from Bellevue says, I love you guys and your talk show. I always tune in on most days and think you are doing a great job informing us of the latest information in a different light. I do follow the news on 24+, but the news is one-sided, I think. This talk show always gives me a balanced view on what has been said in the news. It really has changed the way I look at some things and also made me a bit more analytical when listening to things being said by people. Thank you guys for the good work you are doing. Please don't stop this talk show. We are all as Zimbabweans benefiting a lot from it. Thank you, Mandla, for your wonderful message. Guys, do you have any more thoughts on this? Ida? Jenson?
Nothing to add on this, Tulani.
Me too, Tulani. We can move on if that's okay.
I just want to say to the listeners, thank you for your lovely messages and for your support for this radio channel. We all here at 24+ XFM really appreciate this. Unfortunately, our time is now really up and we need to finish. Thank you all for listening in, and thank you, Ida and Jenson, for coming in as well. I wish you all a very good night. See you again next time. This is Tulani Moyo for 24+ XFM. Take care.
Yeah, this is 98.2 on your dial. You know what I'm saying? Hip Hop EJ. If you want to